Hey everybody. Time to get back into it. Good morning, Captain Boopy. How are you doing? Alright, today we are working on a run cycle. Don't need the design. Okay, so run cycle of he does 7. I don't think I need 7. I'm looking at Richard Williams stuff right now. There's a thing called the Animator's Survival Kit. It's a book by Richard Williams. May he rest in peace. Pretty much most animators should have it. Good reminder for certain animations, like how they went again, or how you make them. So we have on this one that we need this position. Then we need this position. And then we're back down. So technically, I mean, I end up with 7. I don't know if I want to end up with 7. Although, if I end up with 7, I have enough in-betweens to ramp up the speed at which he's running, although that's happening very fast. I don't know. That run obviously is very fast. If that's half as fast, let's see how that's playing. Yeah. Meep meep. Just got somewhere so a bit worn out, so it's great that I can hang out in the tavern and relax. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm tired. I'm really tired. But good nonetheless. Yeah. Cat woke me up at 3 in the morning today. 'Cause Cat is hungry. Yeah, you know how it is. Alright, so let's just dive right into the... I don't think I need the full turnaround. wonder if I can just... I mean, I don't need the front. I'm really just concerned with 3/4. So I think I can just get rid of all this. Which means I don't need this. I can get rid of these. I can scale down. Usually when I animate on shows, or used to animate on shows, I would get rid of all the useless stuff. Like if I knew I needed X amount of layer, or like X amount of angles, but not all of them, I would keep the ones that I needed and then get rid of any layers that were just dead weight. Okay, so we're going up to 29. And Narc6, what? Hey buddy, how you doing? Long time no see, my friend. As you can see, Poopy's in the chat, and when he messages, I have a little Poopy specific pop-up that comes up. I'm going to do that for your character as well. I'm going to do that for all characters, but working on a website and happy to see you on. Well, I'm glad that our times overlap in the sense that you can hang out for a little bit. Yeah, really appreciate you popping in. And as far as your character goes, yeah, Poopy's like pop-up doesn't have a specific audio sound yet. Like I have to work on that still, but let me just let me save this. Close it. Still, so I'm just gonna, or I'm working layer by layer, meaning right now I'm deciding to just work on the gambeson below the chainmail, and then over the chainmail goes the like cloth in the front. But yeah, just layer by layer. Take your time, cannot wait to see my guy, going to cherish it forever. Hey, I mean, since you're here, I might just work on him right now. And I'll do the run a little bit later. Oops. Let me just reset my brush to the proper size it needs to be. I think it was 4, yeah. Could those patches be dark green and purple with respect to your world, of course? Dark green and purple? You mean like these individual sections? Yeah, those almost like family color thing. No, that would go on to here, like, so there's gonna be like cloth hanging over top, and that cloth can have multicolor, where like maybe one side is one color, other side is another color or something like that. You know those typical sort of family crests that have like whatever very quickly drawn, but you know what I mean. Because the gambeson, like I'm I can have it leaning into the tabards. Yeah, I can have it leaning into the green, but like technically this isn't like patchwork. This is I actually don't know how they're made, to be honest. Gotcha. That fits better. I promise you're way more knowledgeable in this than I am. Honestly, not that much. Like, I look at reference in terms of like, oh, like how was this like created, or like how does this work? Not so much as in, you know, what's the actual like process of it, or like how was it actually made. Let me just make that black. I think, did I put that up here because I wasn't too happy with this thing? I can't remember. After years, I'm going to be working on Sonoda's character. Already got that laid out. He already gave me an outline of what he wants. Yeah, but I'll make sure that, like, I also find a little bit of time to what was it? God, I can't do and think at the same time. My multitasking is really fucking terrible. What was I saying? To finish up the actual, like, alerts of people writing in chat for the characters that already exist. And Poopy, I don't really need to know where Anar bought his beard because I already drew the beard. Wasn't too hard to replicate. It's a pretty average beard model. I said up. I was able to see him at CitizenCon. Dude, I'm so sad I wasn't able to go. And I won't be able to go for a while. I'm just trying to trick him into telling me where he bought the beard. Yeah, I mean, I'm moving in September, so I won't be. I'm a little sad that I wasn't able to make it out there, but I do intend to eventually go to like GDC and other events, so I'll be over here again. Plus, my best friend might be getting married in May next year, and if that's the case, then I have to come over anyway. So we'll see. I have to skip this year. Too many things going around that time. Going on around that time. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, Anar, these are my regular stream times now. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Just my regular slot. I'm glad that I was able to like make this a slot and just kind of get like be regular with it again. Good times for Europeans. Well, that's going to change once I'm in Europe. I love it. See you on. I always hop on. I'm just in production mode. Technically, I should be working out right now while working on a website. I get it, man. Oh, God. That probably won't get rid of... Like, if I do this in OBS with Restream, that probably won't get rid of him, right? You can probably still see it in chat. So I actually have to go into the creator dashboard. Like, hop onto... Yep. Where are my mod tools? Boom. Easy. Easy peasy. That should hopefully have removed the message. Yeah, probably a bot. I don't really have patience for that. Any sort of immediate self-promotion usually ends up with... Like, unless it's a... Unless I can tell it's a person that's trying to come in and have a conversation, but for the most part, they don't. So, immediate ban. Did you guys see the Fallout show? Did you guys watch that at all? It was really good. Loved it. Filmed using actual film. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I was a little disappointed with the last episode. Last episode fell a little flat for me, but like overall really fun, and I hate the fact that it's probably going to be another 2 years before we get more. I really wish they would have had a little bit more foresight. I miss the days when, like, you could expect a new season, like, say, Game of Thrones every year. I miss that. Also, World of Warcraft Lo-Fi. Really good. Production doesn't work like that anymore, unfortunately. Man, that sucks. It's too... Is it too hit and miss? Like, during Game of Thrones, it was very much like a sure thing that people would watch and, like, the reception would be good. Like... I'm still waiting on another season for like, The Boys. It's been forever. They want insight before they greenlight anything now. Yeah, fair enough. although I feel like in some instances, okay, it's warranted because there's a lot of stuff out there that comes out where you're like, how the hell did they greenlight that? That was a bad move. Like, I feel like there's a lot of bad movies coming out at the moment. Not that there weren't, like, prior to COVID, but I feel like the volume is different. Like, the amount of movies that are coming out versus what came out before COVID. Like, before COVID, you could count on a new movie pretty much almost every month. They see it as risky, could have been one and done. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you know, track records for video game shows is not very good. Although, Last of Us, oh my god. That was so good. I'm excited for the second season. Which they're filming in Nanaimo, which isn't that far away from here. You know, the one thing that I wish we would have figured out, like, as far as technology goes, is how to make laptops quieter. Because, man, those fans was so successful that they've been greenlit for, like, 3 more seasons. That's crazy, considering there's only 2 games. And I feel like I have a feeling they either gonna draw stuff out because I mean I've never played the second one, but from what I heard, Joel dies. And if Joel dies, I mean he's a big draw for the show as well, I feel. So I hope they stay faithful, but find ways to lengthen the lifespan of it that work. With Last of Us, I would have been content with just 2 seasons, like, because you handled the first game in the first season, so why wouldn't you be able to handle the second in the second season? Okay. That one is gone. I'm just realizing that... I should have put the belt on another layer. I don't even know how they're spelled. Let me just look this up real quick. Is it Gamberson? Gamberson? Or is it Gambeson? No. Yeah, it's Gambeson. Padded jacket. You stopped after 1. I heard mixed things on 2. Didn't want 2 to ruin feelings for The Last of Us. Well, I heard that there was a lot of outrage that voice actors got, or like one specific voice actress got doxxed, or a lot of hate because her character did something. I never understand that. Like, I never understand how like fandom can get so damn ugly. Like, I get that, for example, like Star Wars was extremely disappointing and still is ever since Disney. But what was I gonna say? Like with Last of Us, for example, like you do realize that they're actors and they're just acting what was written by the writers, and you do realize that, you know, they're not the characters that they're playing, so you complaining about it is not going to bring back the character that you loved so much. Like, are you people just idiots? Like, are you just dumb? Like, maybe you should seek counseling? If you feel that strongly, like, I don't know. I'll never understand it. And it will never be okay. The passion for an IP can definitely cause messy situations. A lot of people with low emotional intelligence out there. Very sure. Very sure. Very true. The Lord of the Rings show, yeah, I mean, I have strong feelings about that show, but I'm not gonna go after actors. Like, you know, I feel like the actors did an okay job. Do I like the story? No, I fucking hate the story. Do I wish they would have, like, really gone out there and like, done something that no one has ever done before and really risked something by, you know, actually following the timeline? Like, I wish they would have actually, instead of condensing thousands of years down into one timeline, actually had the courage to make a show that spans thousands of years. Yeah, if you don't support it, simply just don't support it. Don't hop onto a forum and start attacking. No, like, you know, what is okay is, like, constructive feedback. Oh, great. My light just died. Constructive feedback is okay, but, like, you know, hatred and all that, like, no. It's never going to be okay. The hatred that people spew. And the same is happening with, like, unfortunately, it's happening with Helldivers. Like, the Helldivers community has become so damn toxic, it seems, like, which is a shame, when, like, I feel like an issue that people have with Helldivers has more to do with Sony than, like, the game itself. So if someone writes a negative review on Steam, like, people just need to stop with the hatred towards those people. Like, people are allowed to have an opinion. People are allowed to voice that opinion, and you can disagree with it. You're allowed to voice your disagreement with that opinion. But at the same time, like, hatred and threatening language and demeaning language is never going to be okay. Yeah, it's soured so fast, which is, I mean, it's a very big indicator of, like, you know, I feel like the reason there wasn't any toxicity was because it was a PvE game. That doesn't mean that the people that are playing it are all of a sudden better human beings. No. Like, you still have the same trolls, the same assholes that like, cause toxicity in other games, like, in there. They just happen to not really be able to let that out at anybody because it's a PvE game, it's not a PvP game. Sadly, becoming more and more common. I get more and more death threats and other crap in my work as well, even from the youth. Like, as in toward you, or toward, like, the people that you're helping? Okay, so here... This one came from here and goes to here. There would have been one here.
An adventurer has returned.
No more ads.
Yo, thanks so much, Anar. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like everybody else, I'm running ad breaks to avoid pre-roll. Sorry for ad breaks. I don't even know if they have that option on the YouTube. What? Okay, so I feel like this is going the wrong way. I feel like... Why are the gaps so huge? I don't get it. Let's make them smaller, I guess. That would have been here. Let's get rid of these here. Seems to be better to go by here. I'm starting to get that the triangles sort of need to be the same size. The triangles that I'm talking about are these ones here. Okay, that's better. That sucks. Just becomes that mentality. I know how many people... I know too many people who... Their whole perspective is warped. Everything is so negative. It's a trap they have to get out of themselves. During COVID, I dipped into that a bit. I stressed and negative. Twitch helped a lot, however. That's good. Last week I had some police officer dad follow me all the way home in my driveway to threaten me. got an investigation going against him now. What? Oh my god. It really is ugly how negative the world is getting. Mean-spirited and like... The world is getting a lot more narcissistic. The world is getting a lot more dangerous. That doesn't sound like Lord of the Rings. Definitely isn't. Not Lord of the Rings, sorry. World of Warcraft. Find some Zelda lo-fi. It's gonna be a test to see how YouTube likes me playing this. Okay. We have like a little bump right here. No. I feel like this is wrong. I think it needs to go that way. And then this has to go there. I want to say... Does that make sense? Think. The world needs to heal. Yeah. I reported his family to child services. Isn't something that could be fixed with just talks. He disagreed. People really need to learn how to have constructive arguments. Should be a part of school. You can have good arguments against people you disagree with. Yeah, like I find it interesting that that isn't something that is more in focus at the moment, considering how there's such a push towards a lot of very liberal ideas, or like very left-leaning ideas. I don't know why no one's ever thought about, like, somehow mental health and like teaching children about mental health in school in that regard and how to properly express themselves is something that is just not like part of school. Like the thing that kind of bothers me with school is, so you give children homework so that they do stuff at home outside of school hours, when technically, like, our tax dollars pay you to teach children in school. But then because children can't just do things all the time by themselves, and a lot of them need help outside of school with homework, you end up making parents teachers that have to teach children the stuff from school. Well then, how about some of the stuff that, you know, technically is on parents to do, makes its way into schools? Like, I don't, you know, we have there are places that have cooking classes and stuff. Like, I don't see why we can't just have that. Like, what's the issue with bringing that to more schools, making sure that more kids know how to feed themselves properly, but among many other things. But yeah, that's where I feel like we come from. No establishment teaches it so we can turn it into a daily conversation and spread. You have your thoughts and feelings, but share it in a mature manner, and debate, don't argue, and respect other people's feelings and thoughts. You have no right to change them. Yeah. Poopy, I agree with you. I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole of politics, just because of, well, the internet. You know how it is. And I don't want to, like, bombard people in the morning, especially, or at any point in time when people try to relax with this kind of stuff. But know that it is an important conversation for sure. Okay. Just a second. We all want the world to be better. Yeah. Okay. And we have... one coming in from here. Let's say there's another one coming in from here. We have one going up. This way. I'm trying to... don't like the way this looks. It essentially needs to be like a little bit higher. Ends up being roughly the same. Well, let's just make it the same right now, and then shift it later. Nah. It's fine. Alright, my break is up. I'll be lurking. Time to be protective again. Love you guys. Don't stop being you. NR, same to you, man. Love you, dude. Take care. Have a good day. And, yeah. Like, you know the drill. Be you. I often have a lot of deep mental health talks over at NR's chat. Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, I know that. But, I also know not a lot of people, or like there are a lot of people who would rather not talk about those subjects, which somewhat makes sense considering that we're bombarded with that stuff and like the negativity that comes with some of those topics like day in and day out. Okay. We'll get there. I'm already really happy with how the face looks. I mean, this is quintessential Narc 6, but a little bit more. What's it? A bit more tough cookie-like. I don't know. I don't know if that even makes sense. Harsher jawline. I don't know. Yeah, it's not hard to see who it is. Yeah. Which is good. I'm gonna try to do the same for Sonoda's. Make sure that it's noticeable. That you can tell who he is. It's not the playlist that I was actually looking for now that I'm thinking about it. Shit. Close. When I finish this bottom section, I think I'll go back to the run cycle. Because I gotta get that done today. I'm adding joystick support for the game. Like, obviously, I'm intending the game to be played with a joystick. Sorry, not with a joystick, with a gamepad. Like, so be that joystick or D-pad. But obviously, I need to make it available for keyboard and mouse as well. That said, like, I'm trying to make it so that when you push down on the joystick a little bit, the character walks a little bit more slowly, and then when you push down on it harder, like, he walks a little bit faster. Eventually starting to run and so on, like, basically like any sort of game that has joystick support. Hey Hassan, how are you doing? Have I tried pixel art? I like looking at pixel art. I don't like making pixel art. It's not my thing. Like, there's some really cool pixel art out there, but I don't really have interest in making it. I think that's the direction to have it coming from. How about Steam Deck? Like, having setting with a bit bigger font size for the smaller screen? Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't have a Steam Deck, so I can't test it on there. But, I mean, like, in general, you have to, I feel like, add options in for people to increase the screen size. Just general sort of accessibility. I think the thing that's going to be hard later is figuring out where to place the shading. You use your Steam Deck quite a lot, so I'll happily be a guinea pig down the line if needed. I feel like the game like that would be amazing for it. Yeah, like, I mean, I feel like in general, like, most, platformer games are decent on handheld devices, or should be at least playable on handheld devices, because it's... I feel like platformers are kind of one of the easiest ones to play on like handheld devices, considering, you know, the history of the Game Boy and everything. Oops. Exactly, and it seems like a game that would be perfect to kick back on the couch to play. Yeah. Yeah, ultimately I would want to play the game on the couch. Or on the TV. That said, I think it probably costs a lot of money to release a game on Sony's PlayStation Store if I wanted to, like, release something there or on Nintendo. Like, no idea how expensive that would be. God, I've gone a little bit more overboard with the amount of... I have to scale that back a little bit. That's a bit better. Ah, you know what I forgot to do before I had this thing go all the way down there? Duplicate it. Nah, that's not gonna look good. Now it's gonna end up being like different weight, different width places. Keyboard hand, Jesus. Paradox, how you doing? How's it going, man? Welcome in. I'm doing alright. Just working on a tavern character right now. But we'll be switching to the game as soon as I'm done this Gamson bit. I have to make progress on this guy. For another social media post and what was I gonna say? Just in general, to be able to move on to the next tavern character after that. Okay. The character looks real good as always. Thank you. Actually, why am I drawing this again? And I technically have this. Okay. The legs, the shoes, whatever, it's very rough still, but anyways. Let's turn off the roughs for a second. Turn off that. Okay, head. Okay, well, slowly but surely getting there. Definitely some layers that still need to go over top of this, but yeah. How's it look flipped the other way? Oh boy. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong flip. Flip horizontally. Always a scary test. Yeah, like I thought. Beard is a little too short over here. Shoulder area definitely a little too short. Everything looks a little skewed. That's a little bit more normal. If it was there. So I'm just gonna duplicate this real quick. Do that same change, but oops. Yeah, and then I'd have to like do something over here to like extend this a little. Definitely better than this, but that's for another time. We'll just save this. I'm gonna see how far I can get in half an hour. Open, god dang it. Definitely don't need the... well, maybe. Let's make that invisible. Okay. Oh. Just realized. I need to make a copy. Or a couple. Just for safety. They don't rotate with the arms the same way, the pauldrons, so let's not worry about those for a second. It's too long. Oops. Right, I can't rotate the same. I wish, like, yeah, I can rotate this way, but I wish it was the same as in Photoshop. By Borg Q. And I know dogs don't have thumbs, but in order to get a fist, I have to... Oops. No. Maybe. I'll have to think about it. Unless I want to go open hand for this one. And instead of, you know, going this bend, maybe going for something that's slightly less bend. Okay. Then we have a foot on the ground here, which would be the same as it is. But You know, about 2 years ago, we were at this exact same spot, kind of. Me animating a run cycle for the character. Just in a different software, with a different build. With a different character, well, with a different character design iteration. Which, yeah. With this, I feel like we can push it too. Don't like the way this looks. Well, first of all, because this is fucking wrong. This is as wrong as you can get. I just noticed my mistake. Unless I don't want the arms going in front. I kind of just want to have, like, the Dragon Ball Z run. Not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Original. That would look a little weird too. Yo, King, how's it going, man? Here's I'll do another time. Okay, and then we have same thing over here. But the foot... Oh. Ah, God dang it. Watching this just makes me appreciate solo devs even more. Matterlord's guy must have put so many hours into it. Absolutely. I don't doubt for a second that, like, he put an insane amount of hours into it. Maybe this back just a little bit more. Oops. I don't know if I want him to swing the arm out that much. I think the problem is that this is too far out. I think it would have to be here. And then we have to bring this in just a tad more. I mean, can't have it look like he's completely... I did have in the original run, I had his arm go out here for when he was back. Which is, you know, it's very, very far out for how long his arm actually is. But essentially it's a cartoon, so it's okay. Hey Cloudy, how's it going? Sorry, didn't see you there earlier. I feel like games is the most advanced art form there is. Combines different kinds of art and handcraft into one to create an experience you can be part of and tell a story, etc. I see where you're coming from with that. I don't know if I 100% agree, but I definitely see where you're coming from. I don't know what about animation. I somewhat agree. What do you think, UVO? BOTW music? What? Breath of the... Oh, Breath of the Wild. Could be. I mean, it's Zelda lo-fi. So, I don't know if they took it from Breath of the Wild. I've never played Breath of the Wild, to be honest. Okay, we'll keep that in the back pocket. Something to think about. I'm still not sold on the arm. Too far forward. Yeah. Okay. Huge fan of Breath of the Wild. Nice. Oh boy. My god, can he stop texting me? Jesus. Oh, my, my dad. He doesn't send one long message, he sends like multiple. God. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves, I feel. Like someone texting me and just sending like a million messages rather than like one long message. Like, come on, man. Why are you like that? Who made you like that? Not that I enjoy reading long messages, it's just less annoying with notification sounds. That's all it was. Still feel like it shouldn't go that far forward, actually, now that I see it. Arms up like that makes him feel a little bit more brutish and like a fighter. Yeah, I mean, who does that? Literally every person that texts ever. Alright, well, I'm gonna call it here, though. I'm gonna clean this up. Implemented. I can show you real quick, actually, while we're at it. I'll show you where we're at in the game to kind of just give you a quick view at the very end. Gonna take a second. Show up right at the end. At least I get to see more progress. Well, progress could be. I mean, I feel like I've made progress, but then again, at the same time, like, progress has been slow because I'm redoing or rebuilding my stuff in Unreal Engine 5.4 from scratch. This one I have to fix. I need to condense this down into a single one. But, prototyping, right. So, right now, if I'm using the joystick, I can control the speed of it, and when it comes to a stop, obviously. This is supposed to go from walking all the way to running. And then, I technically, with keyboard and D-pad, is this not working right now? I technically, I mean, this should technically work. Timeline. It's supposed to lerp. Let's try it again. Alright, so first time you start walking when pressing the keyboard, there's a little ramp up. But then if I stop, like, there's a cooldown timer. If I stop for longer than, I think it was 7 seconds, it resets and starts slow. That might be really annoying to deal with, so I'll have to see, maybe I can make that cooldown, like, let's say, like, reset when the player has been idle for more than 15, 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And then there's a bug with it that I have to fix that I don't know yet. Haven't really thought about how to fix it. God dang it. And that is if I start walking slow, but then I press, like I let go of it and I press, you can start walking faster. So it doesn't complete the ramp up. So technically I have to check if it's completed or if it's been interrupted. But yeah, I don't know. Different use case or like different scenario when that needs to happen. And I have like animations for left and right. Since an asymmetrical character, I set that up. Anyways, it's 10:01. Time to bring it in. Bring it in and call it a day. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. Really appreciate you all. And Arc6, thank you again so much for the sub. Much appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you all on Tuesday next week, 8 a.m. Pacific time, as usual, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sorry, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays every week. Bruh, I just got here. Yep. Sorry to fire. Or T-Fire. I honestly don't know how to pronounce that. And I'm sorry if I butchered it. But, yeah. Gotta head out. Thanks again so much for hanging out. And I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.